Judith, today was the press conference of the Global Chess Festival here, but also something very interesting was launched today. It was these books that you've written. Could you tell us a bit about it?
Yes, this was actually, it's in the box in Hungarian. It looks like a game, but actually it has 6 parts. I can also show it to you. You see? There is 3 parts of the book.
Oh, wow.
So this is about the pawn, which represents superpower of teamwork. This is the bishop, which we have movements. And I can show you also how it looks like inside the book. So this is the colorfulness, what we have with stories and chess puzzles and many different puzzles. So we have 6 superpower. This is teamwork, this is movement. The knight is, of course, creativity.
Oh, so each book is dedicated to a piece?
To a piece, and the piece dedicated to superpower. And this is what I like very much. You can see how we teach the rows, lines, files, and diagonals, because this is the chessboard, and then if you fill it up with some parts, it becomes the chess palace.
Oh.
And every book has a different chess palace scene where the kids can go around. And then, of course, we have a chessboard as well.
Wow.
And the idea is that with a water-based pen, you can draw your ideas. So this is what we have. This is how I learned chess. So this is the first inspiration for the kids to learn and to touch the exact squares. Mm-hmm. Right? And here we have the characters, you see, and each book has in the beginning some exercises which relates to that piece, that superpower.
So in a way, like these books teach chess, but not in the normal boring way, yeah? Like this piece moves this way. There's a lot of creativity around it.
Well, we were working a lot. It's a 2-year work, and of course we started the whole method and the chess palace itself back in 2012, so it's more than 10 years. In 2013, it became part of the national curriculum as an optional subject. But these books are renewed. The method, of course, is the same, but we made it separately to 6 pieces, 6 books. And there are some things which are repetitive, so you don't have an order, but for example, the very basics in the beginning, how it starts, what I showed, these parts, it's very important. So this is what we want to grave into the brain of the kids, that these are line, files, diagonals, and palace. And we want to transmit during the whole series that basically chess is a very complex thing. So we have stories, and all the games and plays in the book is connected to that. So I think it's important to see, for chess players also, we know how difficult and the game how complex, right? But we want kids to be engaged in a very fun and engaging way. So everybody who is not interested or who is not so clever yet, or they have different potentials, everybody finds something that they are happy, they can do it, and the inspiration what the kids can get. And we also have the different tasks in order that it's endless. So you can make extra examples, or it can also inspire parents so that they can ask more questions through the story. And of course the stories has the elements of the chess themes.
Beautiful. So you said this one was the pawn, right? The first one. Then you had the bishop here.
No, actually the first one was the rook.
Ah, the first one. Okay.
Yes, because we have the teaching generally. You can make it in any order,
okay,
but we have the rook first. Then we have the bishop. So when you know the move, how the rook and the bishop moves, then obviously the queen, which is about self-control.
Okay.
Then you know already how the queen moves. And after that we have the king. And we have some samples already in English also. The king, and then we have the knight, my favorite piece, and then we have the pawn. So this is how it fits together the 6.
How long would it take for someone to go through these books, like according to you?
I think it very much depends. If someone works with it and play with it every day, I think maybe 3 months to half a year. But what is important for us that if someone starts the first book, then they get the message, they get the idea. And the idea is that with every puzzle, every task, everything what the kids do, to inspire them to do more, right? And of course, later on, because this is only very beginning for from ChessWise, because it's only the basic of the moves, how we capture, what is checkmate, what is a draw, so very basic things. That after this, probably chess itself will be more interesting as a game itself.
Amazing. And it's for kids who are around 4 years old.
Yeah, well, we thought in Hungary we have it from 4 to 8 years old, and but I've seen even older kids
enjoy
to get interested, because the graphic was also very important for us. So to have the engagement from the kids.
And you also have the books in English here, which are, I think, just you made samples. It's not published in English?
Yes, it's not published in English. You can see here some of the stories, and then after the story we have already some kind of exercises, and always the final exercise will be, this is communication.
So find and circle the real shadow of the pieces. Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah, so we continuously play with our characters, and we have their name, we have the chess palace of all of them, and then obviously at the end of the chapter, it's the final part about how the pieces are moving, and then the kids have 4 exercises to do with that. So that's how we made it, but it was important to have a surrounding that makes a very nice environment for kids to work on it. And as a final touch, which I'm very, of course they get the certificate at the end. Yes, but we also, here are the solutions just in case if somebody gets wrong. At the end we have this adventure playground where you can test yourself. If you learned everything, you know what we were talking about, so it's a final touch for that. And if you're so happy to continue, then you also have a QR code behind it where you can go on and play games on these 2 areas, 2 parts. So it's a very complex thing, but...
Is this, the character is based on you?
Yeah, that's how it wants to be, yes. I'm joining the kids during the whole book.
This is amazing. And it's not yet out in English because you're looking for a publisher in English?
Yes, basically we have already 3 languages where it's going to be published, in Slovenian, in Arabic language, and in China. But obviously we would want to have published in English and in many other languages.
And then it could reach like across the world?
Well, that's my dream. The Chess Palace will be seen and experienced by internationally everywhere for kids.
Beautiful. So eventually this box which is there in the Hungarian could also become a box for English, right? So
yes, absolutely. This is the goal, that if any kid goes through on these examples, which has more than 500 puzzles or game and more than 30 stories, then definitely they will have already a mindset which will boom in their childhood.
Amazing. And I think you worked tremendously hard on these books, right?
Yeah.
I think last time we met which was a year ago, you were working still on it, and
yes,
it was nearing completion.
Because book publishing, even if you have a good publisher, it was a very big team. We were practically 8 of us who was working on it non-stop, on the graphics, on the editing. Obviously, on my side, we had my colleagues who were expert for children, a kindergarten teacher, then the other colleague of mine who was pulling the whole project together. And at some point, I needed to be extremely deeply involved, basically daily basis for several months until the structure, I was developing the structure, the workflow, inspire my colleagues during these 2 years, because we had some points where it was a big struggle and we had to rethink everything again. And of course, for these moments, I always go back to my fighting spirit, what I went through as a chess player. And yeah, it's interesting that it was a great experience for me to see how I could inspire my team the way that they still had the energy to work on again and again. And whenever I asked them that, well, I don't like this, I don't think it's matching together so perfectly, so let's go and do differently, they were so open about it and flexible, and they had the trust in me that I'm saying these things and I'm leading the way, because I feel that that's the good way.
Tremendous. And lastly, Judith, I want to ask you, like, you have so many things that you are busy with. How do you find time for this? Like, is this something that deeply motivates you, this project of spreading chess to the kids?
Well, this was a very special project, because I have to admit that when we started, it was not the plan to work for 2 years on it. We thought within half a year it's going to be done, because we have such an experience already in the method and we know so many feedbacks, what works, what doesn't work so well. But at the end, it needed so much time to make it everything together. And obviously we have mistakes. I mean, you always have, no matter how many times you're checking it, you're double checking, triple checking, you make, and of course when we test it with the kids. But it was important for me, because this is the first publication in Hungarian which was published, which we definitely made it the way that we were filtering it, the way that internationally with other kids. Because in the Hungarian, which is in the school, that Chess Palace books, those are integrated into Hungarian curriculum. So this was specifically, we were focusing that any kid in the world who gets to open this, they have joy and growth while they are doing it.
Amazing. Well, Judith, thank you. And I hope that someone comes forward as a publisher to do this in English, so that a lot of kids can learn this method
Thank you.
that you've
I hope
developed.
to.